Good morning. Welcome to Options Center. Sorry, guys, I have a little bit of a voice issue here. I've been under the weather this past week, so you haven't really heard from me too much unless you're in the Discord, which is free. So check it out in the description. Also, if you're a Patreon, if you want to be a Patreon, feel free. It's very cheap. Also in the description. So we have the SPX on multiple time frames. We'll check that out. Use different indicators and tell us what kind of warnings indicate a top here and what kind of top is this. Those are the huge questions. If anybody knew what those answers were, then they're probably wealthy already. So we're going to check out some candle formations and go down to the SPX options expected move. And then the Patreons will continue to look at some more in-depth tops and top indicators on the other indices. Okay. So here we go. On the weekly SPX, we are working on, we had wave 3, 4, and we're working on primary wave 5. Within that wave, we have a wave 1, 2, this is intermediate. 3, it looks like we were not done with 3 yet. We don't have any reversal signals at this point on the weekly. So bullish until proven otherwise. We're over all the MAs, holding trend, holding rising pivots, all the above. So, looking at the weekly, there's no real signs except still the divergence from the MACD and RSI. We can burn through this next one. That will be a good tell that we're going to continue to move higher. But at this point, we have short-term weekly divergence as well. So let's move over to the daily. Daily trend is our friend. Okay, after breaking down from a ending diagonal, we had that correction, ABC correction, and we have 3 main scenarios we'll be looking at. Seeing that we have this, back out a little bit. Seeing that we have this rising pivot here to these points, we came right to that point and have a doji candle. So we're looking for, that's a first sign of a reversal. We're at least pausing to see what we do here next. If we do gap above here and continue higher, we do have another pivot that we can use from, let's see, that's from wave 1, passing on to possible, looks like minor wave 3, and then so we could move up to that point. It's rising, so it could be around 4,900, 48 something. But we'll check that out. We got to get past this point first. So here's the scenario. The bullish continuation scenario is that this is a wave 1, and there's 2 ways this wave 1 can go, because this is a 1 2 1 2 3. We go back to wave 4 and we continue on up to wave 5, and that would complete wave 1. Or wave 1 is complete now and we disregard these, and it should pull back to wave 2 somewhere around the 618 possibly, or the 786, the golden zone. Maybe hold this gap and rising pivot, and that would give us a nice wave 1 2, and then we really start moving higher. And then the more bearish but still bullish in the long run situation is what I've been looking for, but I think that's a little overextended now. So we'll look for this to be a 1 2. Is the ABC up for an extended B and a 5 wave move down very impulsively. So that would be a expanded flat. That would be an A. And I have these over here as just places. I'll put them in later. Actually, I'll show you what I mean. A down, B expanded flat, and C either a running flat at the 236 or all the way down to the 382. Kind of two scenarios that we could be looking at. So those are the three. Either this is a one that's not complete yet. We come back for wave 4, go up to complete wave 1 at a higher spot. We're done now with 1, and we're coming down for 2, which I think that's more likely. And then we continue for a 1, 2, and then we have a much more impulsive wave 3 to bring us higher. Or the correction is not over from August, where we have an A, expanded B, expanded C down. So to summarize this, we're just going to look to see if we're getting a pullback right now. How impulsive is that pullback? Where is it going to bring us? If we can't get underneath the all-time highs, then we are certainly not done with wave 1 yet. Okay, that would be the bottom of 382. So that would be a wave 4. That would be the first scenario. We start breaking down from the all-time highs, then things get a little sketchy. And we could probably just break through and make that wave 2 and then move higher, or the last scenario plays out. So we'll just have to see what kind of formation, how this plays out, if we get a 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, or if it's just some sort of maybe zigzag that comes down to this area really quick. We'll have to see how this plays. Now, in the bullish scenario, let's go back to the weekly for a second. I had an extension out there. Just want to show you the golden zone for the extension from wave 1 to 2. And wave 3 would typically, doesn't always have to, give us a 1618 move. And that's around the 5,500 area. So we have a lot more room if this is still bullish and we're just forming a 1, 2 right now on the daily to move all the way up to 5,500. So don't get too bearish. Don't think that this move is over. We're just looking for a correction. We've been looking for a correction, but this huge, massive move really stung us pretty good. So what else would I want to show you? The indices, the MACD. Pull out a little bit. We were looking for that, lower highs coming here, and we actually started to get. We're right about level with the last move. If we continue higher, we'll get a higher high here when we've been getting lower highs and lower lows. I kind of put this channel here just to represent that. It's not resistance or anything. So this big move here might be kind of like this move, and then you start your downtrend for a while. And then on the RSI, same thing. Had this downtrend with the divergence, and breaking through that divergence, you saw we had a reaction to it, and now breaking higher, but that doesn't change this divergence in the long run. So we're way overbought again. We're in that 75 overbought area. We can go higher. It can go 80. It can go 90. But know that we're in overbought conditions, and so we are primed for some sort of reversal. There is a more bearish scenario to where we actually finished this whole move, and that would be much more bearish, and we're not really looking for that, but anything's possible. If we could start continuing down in a downtrend, then we'll know what's happening. That's why we just keep that in mind. Sorry, this is so plain. My voice is killing me a little bit, but let's move over to the 65-minute and see if we can get a better view of what we were just talking about. So we're right at the resistance here. Came right to it. we had our ABC correction so far, and then this is a possible wave count that says we're finished, and this would be the wave 1 end. So that would be 1 2 1 2 3 4 3 4 5 to end this full wave 1, and then a wave 2 might come all the way back to the golden zone before moving much higher in a wave 3. Now that's the second secondary alt. Well, I guess what we're looking for a primary situation right now. But if this is an extended ABC, then we're looking at for areas down, possibly all the way down to the 4,000 or 403 area on the SPY. Now let's check out the VIX futures. Okay, on the daily, we have this falling wedge. It expanded since we made a lower low here. We moved this downtrend line, so that made our wedge a little bit bigger. But what I noticed right here at this support area, we broke down from there, and then we had the closing of the contracts, and so we popped to the upside the next day just because of the rollover of the contracts, and came down for a correction. And some people don't use technical analysis on the VIX, but I just thought it was very interesting. Came right into the golden zone. This looks like a beautiful 1-2 setup, and then a very impulsive start to this move. So while the SPX, while the market is making all-time highs, the VIX is now making big moves here. So let's see if we get continuation on the VIX, and that would kind of confirm our pullback in the market. See what happens there coming up next week. And lastly, for non-patrons, I'd like to go over to the options expected move for the week, and just show that this week we have a plus or minus 63 point move. We've been hitting the outer edges plus more over and over and over in this move, and I do expect the same thing. Now we've hit the upper edge over and over. With this reversal, if this is actual reversal candle, I would expect it coincides with the 8 EMA right here that we test this area right down low. So I think it's a high probable trade that this week we will get down to this 4640 area, and let's see if that holds. That's a very important area with this 8 EMA trending to the upside. All the MAs are moving to the upside, and we'll test it. It needs to be tested. So that'd be a nice trade to take off some risk there if you're in any puts, or if you're in the calls for SQQQ or SPXS. So that's it for non-patrons. Patrons, stick around. All right, patrons, had a little bit of coffee there. Let me just continue on here. There's something else I want to show you with the VVIX. This is the VVIX is the volatility of the volatility. I know that's pretty cray-cray, but we're actually making a big move to the 110 area. So we're right at resistance, but if we start breaking above this 110 area, I do suspect we'll have another spike to the upside. And that's volatility happening in the volatility, which means that the market is probably having some downside movement there. So that's something to watch out for. Another indicator that we may be in at least a temporary top. Okay, and let's go over to the QQQ. Well, SPY first, since we were at the SPX. I just didn't want to show all the levels that I had for SPY, but you see this rising pivot. We're right at the top there. At very minimum, I think we'll retest this 454 area where this gap is, and also former all-time highs. But notice that we got a little bit of volume in there on Friday on this, and that just shows that there's a lot of trading volume going on in this candle here. which it could be somewhat of like a capitulation to the upside and a nice reversal spot. So if we do start getting down to this area, we could expect the test of the 20 simple moving average would be that'd be a nice spot to take some profit as well. I do think we go lower from there, but you do want to take off, some profit as we move to these different levels. But the volume was what I want to show, and so let's go over to QQQ. QQQQQ. All right, on the daily. Okay, so checking this out, this long-term channel from the top of from September 1st or 2nd, I believe the top was right there. We had a touch here for a minor wave, for intermediate wave 3, minor wave 3, and now for a possible intermediate wave 3 here, primary on this time frame. So according to QQQ, I think we have a nice big move, at least to the 382 area, which would bring us to the bottom of the channel again. That would be a huge win for us if we do get to that level. We have a lot of things that we have to get through before there, so I would imagine it'd be pretty impulsive. We had that zigzag here, so this is still the scenario where this is an A down, B, and then a expanded B, and then a C, almost straight down to that point would be very considerable. So let's look to see how impulsive this move is. Once we get under that 8 EMA, then we'll be tracking to see if we actually trend with that 8 EMA, and if we start slicing through some of these moves, then that would be very telling. But if we just start oscillating up and down, grinding, then I don't think we'll make it very far. I think we'll have to watch those levels, see how we react to them, especially the all-time high here at 382. But yeah, I do think we had hit, at least on the QQQ, a pretty major top for get us into a wave 4, and then from there we can start to let me put this wave 4 down here. And then from that point, we can possibly get a nice, fresh, big wave 5, had an impulsive wave 5 to the upside, which would be great. We love, getting those, hitting those trends to the upside. And there's plenty of names that we want to jump into. Okay, so on the IWM, it's really complete opposite. So IWM could still be in a situation where this W, X, Y is happening, but we have no indication at all. We don't have any trend lines, nothing. We're out in outer space here. So we have a possible reversal candle, and that's it. We're way over the 8 EMA. Let's see if we do get a reversal here. Let's see how we test this 8 EMA and also the former all-time highs. This chart is the most bullish of them all, breaking out from such a tight range, about a 10-month consolidation. So it would definitely be an extraordinary thing if we did break down to this 382 area, break back through this this channel here, or at least retest the bottom of that. That is going against the grain. It's going against the trend. So this is the more bullish scenario of the most bullish chart of the IWM and out of the SPY and out of the QQQ. So if we do get a pullback here, we'll be looking to see if we want to get into this, and maybe this will hedge. We jump into this name, this indice, and hedge some of those down positions that we'll have in SPY and QQQ. So, all right, guys, that's all. I'm gonna leave it here, we will continue to talk in the page and message each other. But I hope everybody has a great weekend, and we'll talk to you soon. All right. If you have any questions, just message me and let me know. Have a good day.